Alright, this week's newsletter is we're going to give you an inside look on how to install bigger valves in your FE cylinder head. A couple reasons for this is just to kind of give you a little education on the processes of how it's done in case you're shopping around to have it done and stuff. Give you a little education there. Also to kind of give you a little insight on here at Prestige what we do in our crate motors to get every little bit we can. We think we do a better job than most companies out there, so we're going to kind of give you a little education on that so you have that in your back pocket. So we'll go through some processes here and educate you a little bit. Alright, here we've leveled our head, set our cutter and everything. We're showing you how we're cutting the seat right now. We'll go down to a specific set dimension that we've established. We have an indicator up here that's going to show that. Okay, now we've cut our seat and we're going to double check. We've got these special valves we've made with the point on it. We're able to measure from the deck to the valve and make sure that it's in the specification that we want. We'll record that, and then basically if we ever need to go back to the another cylinder head or the same head, we have that specification. If we're say putting another set of heads on the same motor and we have different valve heights, when our VP is going to change. So it's very, very useful documentation, and we'll record all that by the way. Alright, we're going to show you that on the right, the exhaust seat there, that's basically how we receive them. They're raw. It has a kind of a rough 45, you might want to say. And then on the left, the intake, we've already cut that seat. That's what that kind of looks like. So kind of gives you an example before and after. Alright, now we've got our cut valve job done. What we do here at Prestige Motorsports, we take it in and we use the old stone grinder just to double check to make sure the seat is concentric and we don't have any machining errors that have gone on. So it's just a good double check. We just tap it, make sure we got a good 45, and that assures us that procedure was done properly. So. Alright, our next step here, as you can see, we're doing a bowl blend job on it. Nice little grind work. We'll kind of give you a comparison when we're done here. Okay, another procedure is a good thing to do when you do something of this nature with the valve head diameter size change like this, is what we call valve drop. Two things that'll establish whether you have enough valve to piston clearance and enough what we call eyebrow clearance. So I'll give you a little example here. What the valve drop is basically raise the valve up till it's seated and then basically drop it till it hits the piston at top dead center. And you want to record this. That's what I've done right here. I got 465 and 490. So my drop is good, and we'll pull a head off here and show you kind of a procedure we do to check eyebrow clearance and things of that nature. So we'll stay tuned for another newsletter that will basically explain how you can determine your valve to piston clearance by doing a valve drop in those things. So. Alright, now we're going to explain the other part of the procedure is the bluing, so we can determine where the eyebrow of the piston is in relationship to the valve. So we put some blue on the face of the valve there, and then basically when we do our valve drop, we spin the valve, and then it leaves an impression kind of with the bluing on the piston. So as you can see, the intake, we're right there in the eyebrow radius. So we definitely, if we were going to a bigger intake valve than that, we would have some issues with eyebrow clearance, and we'd have to correct that. Naturally, the exhaust, since it's a double eyebrow, same is plenty of clearance, so no issues there and stuff. So, and with this, we have a bunch of valve drops. So we're not even probably going to get the valve down into the pocket, to be honest with you, with the closest part of the position. So that's the procedure. Well, here we have the finished product. A couple of things we're going to point out to you here. That one of the benefits of putting the big valves in this particular cylinder head is just all the transitions that you're able to make better. You know, when I talk about that, basically like the transition from the chamber to the valve seat. You can see right here, basically there's the valve seat, we've got a really nice big top cut on it that makes that transition really nice as the airflow and fuel comes over that valve seat into the chamber. Very important. Also, the transition into the runner itself is a lot better after we put the big valve in. You can see how we bowl blended and thing transition. As far as the short side, it's enhanced the short side material around there and stuff, especially on the exhaust side of these cylinder heads. You can see a nice radius exhaust short side, which is basically in the cylinder head. Once you've done a lot of port work and stuff, you understand that, you know, the short side intake and exhaust are probably, you know, 70% of the runner, how efficient it is and stuff of that nature. We're going to scan over here. Here's a same head, but basically the valve job is done for Metalbrock. One of the things we don't like, it's got a 30-degree intake seat, and you can see this seat right here, and it's a 90-degree transition. No, very little top cut. 90-degree transition into the runner. So it's just kind of abrupt, not something you really like to see in a cylinder head. Same thing on the exhaust side, 90 degrees. So as we install that bigger valve, we're able to make those transitions a lot better. There again, I'll show you, try to get a good picture here of the short side. You know, nice transition on the short side. Same with exhaust. So, just by putting the bigger valves in, which definitely has a benefit for flow, it just enhances the whole cylinder head. So, if you'd like to inquire, get this procedure done, just contact us, Prestige. We'll definitely take care of you, or we'll try to guide you through the process. If you got somebody else to do it, not a problem. Thanks for watching.